Hey scrappy friends, this is Mags from MagsGraphics, and I'm starting a new video series called Scrap It Easy with MagsGraphics, just to show you that you do not have to belabor every single layout that you do. Often we get caught up in fiddling or adjusting or rethinking how we want things to go. Sometimes a layout could take a half hour or an hour or longer, but there are times where you could just do one in 10 minutes or less. That's why I love speed scrapping with friends, because it gives you a task and a time limit, and then you are done, and you have to scrap it and move on. With the introduction of enhanced art at Artisan, enhanced photo clusters are a great way to scrap it easy. And I have many, including several new ones in the store. And so that's what we're going to use today. I'm going to set a timer on my phone for 10 minutes. We're going to try to get this done in that time or less. So starting my timer now, and it's counting down. So the first thing is you would want to identify which photos you're going to use. So I'm going to hide these two layouts, and I am in Artisan, and I'm going to pull over my Windows Explorer window so you can see. And this is how I personally deal with my photos. I sort things by year, and then month, and then event. And then when I have scrapped something, I started adjusting the file name of the folder to scrapped, because I truly have scrapped the same event more than once, both with paper and then when I was turned to digital, I have still done that. And so I have to write down scrapped. And then I do make layers or folders where I put a little X by it, which means I have these photos like down in here, but I'm not actually going to scrap it. I don't have enough photos, or it wasn't as important as I thought at the time when I took a couple. So I'm moving down here, and then that way I know what I haven't or have done yet. I don't have to necessarily scrap in order, because I can always rearrange the pages in the book in Artisan. So this is some pictures from Father's Day, and there's a couple of topics. I had played around with AI, turning a picture of my husband and I into different things. We had gone shopping. He had saved gift cards from Lowe's for his for a new grill, and so we finally had enough for that. And I'm actually going to focus on the grill pictures. So I'm going to move this over. One of my new kits is called the Everyday Enhanced Bracket, and they look like this. They give you an opportunity to highlight a photo and then have some supporting photos, and that's what we're going to use today. So I think I'm going to use this one. I'm going to add it to the page. I'm going to right-click, grouping, ungroup. Then I'm going to go to Windows Explorer, and I'm going to drag over what I want. My best picture, I believe, is this one, and I think I'm going to put it in this spot. But Dave is really tall, and so like in this case, that was a terrible idea. So I'm going to undo, and I'm going to move him over so that he's not cut off by the circle in the middle. And I'm going to make it a little bit larger so he fits in there under the bracket. And I like this one picture. It has a bunch of smoke coming off. So I think we're going to stick this one. It's a littler one over here. Shows him working on our burgers. We had a cookout that night to celebrate Father's Day and also the engagement of our son. And I'm going to take a picture of the actual grill that we ordered from Lowe's and put it over here. Oops, not that one. Put it over here. And I have a picture of from church, which I probably will use on a different layout, but I like the best dad ever. And so I may consider putting that in here. And I don't actually want us right now. I want this part. So we're going to make it bigger. And oh, that's not going to work the way I wanted. So we will rethink, and that's okay. So I'm going to undo, get rid of that. And the last thing I'm going to do is a picture of my husband with our two sons. And I think what I'm going to do now that I've changed my mind, which is still fine, you know, when even if you're scrapping it quick, is I'm going to use this for journaling. So I'm actually going to fill it with a solid color. Do a little off-white. All right, the next thing I need is a kit to go with this. So I'm going over here, and I'm going to I'm going to use on the menu I've also had it choose on the menu fast food. Both of them have things with burgers and dogs. So if I scroll down, keep coming because there are lots of items in this one. You can add the burger to the page, the hot dog, and the other hot dog. Now, I did not plan out this layout ahead of time, only to choose my pictures. And oops, I'm going to hold my shift down to keep the aspect ratio the same. Just to sort of make some decisions about what pictures I wanted to use, and also what kit. And I knew I only have one big series for food, although I have some smaller ones, wine, country, and beer. But for food, on the menu is my go-to kit. I'm going to go here and look at our options for the brackets and also the background. I think I'm going to add, I love the checkerboard, so we're going to add this to the back. And to break it up a little bit, see if I've got a white here. I'm going to add this to the page. I'm going to change the size to 11 by 11, bring it down, and center it on the page. And the brackets, let's see, let's pull out, I do have a blue, and I don't mind the blue. Let's try what that one looks like. Ooh, did not want to do it that way. Let's try this. Click, click, right click, fill selected shape. That looks a little too not. What else do we have here? Oh, I have another gingham. Might be too much gingham. And I have a solid. Maybe we'll just use solid for now. Okay, I'm going to peek down and see what word art I have. I have a let's eat, lunch, order up. I'm going to add that one to the page for let's eat. Make it a little bit bigger. And now in here, text format, fill the shape with text. David finally got, oops, let's spell finally correctly. Finally got his new grill. The old one had completely rusted out, like pieces were falling on the ground. His first cookout on the new grill was for our combined Father's Day. And Jack Whitney engagement party. And obviously I'm going to have to make that a little bit smaller. Looks like that's going to fit. And I wonder if it will let me give me one. Yep, moves it down just a little bit. Okay. Next thing is this one doesn't have any shadows, so I'm going to add a shadow. I really like 1212 for paper. It's a little bit more than the standard light shadow, but it's not obviously as much as that one. And let's see, this one also needs a shadow. We're going to make that one heavier because it is a word art on top, as well as these. The rest of the enhanced photo thing had shadows applied already. You can certainly change them the way that you want. But this gives us a layout. According to my timer, we have 1 minute and 35 seconds left. So that was under 10 minutes, which included me even talking to you about, what I was going to scrapbook. Using enhanced photo clusters, get things done really quickly. Just like when you were using templates, it helps you get started. I could still fiddle with this. If I wanted to add in more things, I could, but I can also be done. Anything you scrapbook is going to be better than anybody else for your family, because you're the one scrapping your family, and anything your family sees in those albums, they're going to think is the greatest thing ever. So you don't always have to spend hours and hours belaboring a layout. You can just put it together and then move on. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope when you create your layouts, you will come share in the MagsGraphics fan group on Facebook, because I would love to see them. A reminder that all of my digital art kits require artisan software and are sold exclusively at forever.com. Thanks so much for watching.